Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? It's your boy. You know what it is. New week, new video. And celebrate my Jags fans. We pulled out the dub after falling, I believe 17-0 at one point. I think we went into the half 20-7 and then came back to win the game 27-20. It was an absolute dumpster fire of a first half and complete role reversal in the second half. While we have every reason to be excited because A, it showed perseverance. It showed a lot of things that our young players can learn from. B, it felt like the Raiders took our role in that the Jaguars have been up a lot of games the majority of the season, if not all of them, and have found a way to kind of just shit the bed to lose the game at the end of the game. It's been the story of the season. Now, the Raiders, coincidentally, I believe I heard this was their third game where they were leading by 17 and to end up having lost the game. Now, it was clear early the move was get the ball to Davante Adams. He ended up with 17 targets, 10 catches, and he just completely torched us in the first half. He ended the game with 146 and 2 touchdowns. Now, again, it was a tale of two halves. Clearly, there were adjustments made, and not only were there adjustments made, because while I want to celebrate this a lot of this was the fault of the Raiders as well, because I felt like their aggression was way dialed down, and clearly our objective coming into this game was stopping Josh Jacobs and trying to control the line of scrimmage. Now, that didn't work early in terms of, obviously that's what we wanted to do early was control the line of scrimmage, stop Josh Jacobs and whatnot. But it resulted in Davante Adams having a hell of a first half, right? So they made some adjustments in the second half, and I'm not sure if the adjustments were even that significant because, case in point, the two long plays Davante Adams had, one of them, and it's becoming a habit. I'm gonna keep saying it. I mean, he's still young. We had Tyson Campbell on him, and it was a learning experience for him. One of those touchdowns, he was there, or one of those long plays, he was there. He just couldn't get his head around in time, which is something that he has had to deal with. But why I've always thought he's going to be a premier corner is because of that. Like, it's hard to be in position. You're playing Davante Adams, arguably the best wide receiver in the league, and you're stride for stride with them. You just gotta get your mechanics together and get your head around. This is the kind of game that I think he takes with him and he learns a lot from. So while it sucked in the first half, but this is something I think Tyson Campbell can carry with him and really learn from it. Because when you're showing him videos, like, look, you were there, man. Like, he ended the game at the end of the day with huge numbers, but like each play, you were there to make a play. This could have easily been your game had you worked on the fundamentals right. So hopefully he takes that with him and doesn't get too down on himself. The second touchdown by Davante Adams was on Andre Cisco. He ran a deep post route, and Cisco fell down on the route. I don't know what happened, and I gotta say this: I was excited to see Andre Cisco this year. But like Trevor, this is essentially his rookie year because we didn't give him hardly any run last year because for some reason Urban Meyer kept starting Wingard in place of him. I've kind of been underwhelmed with Cisco so far, but he did, again, like Tyson Campbell, kind of redeem himself in the second half. Almost had a pick six that would have definitely locked up the game. I'd like to see more consistency from Cisco. The rap on him was he was a big ball hawking, playmaking safety in college. He did have the ACL, and it led to him missing time in the offseason last season. And ultimately, he never fell in favor with Urban Meyer, so this is now his first year starting. I really hope that he picks it up because the strong safety is an issue where Rayshawn is Jenkins is he's more of a hammer. He's not a cover guy, and it's problematic because the other corner spot's a hole, and when you have a hole at the other corner spot and your safety can't cover, that leaves a lot to be desired in the way of coverage, and it's making even our linebackers look even worse than they actually are because they shouldn't have to cover as much ground as they do if they had the appropriate safety help. And Rayshon Jenkins, never been that great a cover guy. He's more of a box safety type, helps stop the run. He delivers big hits. But in his absence, Wingard played very competent football, made some key tackles that helped us really seal this win. So I'm definitely happy for the Jaguars. This was a much needed win. We can't keep torturing ourselves like this. I called 7 to 9 games, and so it was a very welcome sight, especially coming into the Chiefs coming up this week. So, guys, that's a tough matchup, but I will say this. This isn't the same Chiefs team that we've seen in the past either. I do think that they're very much a Super Bowl contender, but if you watch the game the other day, they do a lot of things that kind of shoot themselves in the foot that can be taken advantage of. For instance, something I actually complain about here, I don't love the way, they pretty much don't run the ball at all. And where we do run the ball, I just haven't loved the style from which we choose to run the ball. We do a lot of kind of outside zone scheme, not enough in the middle, get the 2-3 hard yards, and it leads to us being a bit predictable. Like I believe we went for it on a 3rd and 1, and Max Crosby blew it up because we're predictable. Travis Etienne can't seem to get yards up the middle, and they know we're going to resort to trying to run like stretch plays and things like that. The Chiefs do a lot of the same thing, except they barely run at all. So, and they have no qualms about it. Like, they're very arrogant with it. The Titans were able to kind of keep Pat Mahomes bottled up most of the game by just basically dropping 7, even 8 in coverage sometimes, and just seeing if Pat Mahomes can make the throws. That's something we can do, but as I stated, we have a hole at corner, and the safety spot is, leaving a lot to be desired. So, we're going to put a lot on our linebackers, and guys really got to be on our P's and Q's. I hope Mike Caldwell doesn't try to make this game the game where it's like, okay, well, we're just going to blitz all night. You got to mix it up with that team. So, it is what it is. This week is a big game. I know a lot of us don't plan on winning it, but I think if we can at least prove to be competitive in this game, it can springboard us into winning a few more games. And I'm not going to go as far as to say the playoffs, guys, but I will say this. Frank Reich was fired yesterday. The Colts are a dumpster fire. The Titans can be caught up on. All right, they just took an L the other day. This division is far from sealed. So just keep that in mind. If we can string together some wins and we still have to play the Titans twice, we could find ourselves in a situation where we could sneak and win the division. So just my thoughts on that. I want to see more consistency. Trevor was awesome. I believe he had like an 80% completion percentage. You can't ask for more. But you know me, I'm going to hit it. I'm going to give you guys the real. The Raiders defense, not a good defense. They are notorious for giving any and everything up. So, we took advantage of that. One step of being good is taking advantage of an opponent's weakness. We were able to do that. But the next step is being able to do it consistently and as the talent level of the team you're playing rises. Next week, Chiefs defense isn't the greatest defense, but they're better than the Raiders. And we're going to have a lot of pressure on us to have to put up points. So I expect this one to be a lot better game than people think. Might be a very high scoring game. And keep in mind, Doug P is a Andy Reid disciple. We're gonna have a lot of insight into how Andy Reid thinks, but vice versa. Andy Reid's gonna know a lot of Doug P's nuances. So expect some trick plays, some things that are gonna help us come out the box and make this game a real interesting game. It should be, if nothing else, an exciting game to watch. Hopefully, I just want to be in it at the end of the fourth quarter and see. Can you guys imagine if we're down only a score or maybe like 4 points, a touchdown wins the game, and Trevor Lawrence gives us the opportunity to win the game and does so against Patrick Mahomes? Do you understand what that kind of game can do for a team? The team all of a sudden believes in Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence might become the Messiah, that everybody thinks he is. And I'm not there yet, but just the power of belief can really propel a team. So that's my thoughts on it, guys. Big game this week coming up. Hell of a win this past Monday. Let's tighten up on some of that stuff that we saw, some of those weaknesses, because we can't have guys flying all over the field like Devontae Adams was. And the Chiefs got a lot more speed. It's going to be interesting to see what we do about Travis Kelce. All right, that's all I got this time, guys. Remember, comment down below any questions, thoughts, concerns, anything you guys want to talk about. I'm reading. Hit your boy up. All right, peace.